The biggest flex as a dad is to be in shape. You could try to shy away from this and you could try to say you're embracing your dad bod. But if you're trying to get your kids into sports, if you're trying to mentor your kids to be individuals that can overcome hurdles, obstacles, opposition, you have to show them, not tell them. I cannot stand being at these games where these bleacher dads are screaming from the sidelines, saying that they want their kids to play more, telling their kids what to do, yet they're not living that life. They're not about that life. They don't fit the part, they don't look the part, and they for sure as hell don't live the part. Those dads need to take a serious look in the mirror and start to realize that their kids are never going to truly follow their direction until they follow up with those own same principles. You want your kids to eat clean? You eat clean. You want your kids to work out? You work out. You want your kids to have a great work ethic, discipline, set of standards? You set the standard. You set the disciplines by the way you live your life. Stop getting frustrated when your kids aren't listening to you if you're not listening to yourself. It's not until you make that shift that you can actually have that impact in your kid's life.
Man, listen, it's just so refreshing again to hear this from another man's perspective, man, about setting the standards for your own life before anybody else. Here's the truth. I don't have kids yet, right? It's definitely in the plans. But one of my pillars of wanting to lose weight, right, to lose 100 pounds, was not only to respect myself, but once I have kids, how would they respect me? And here's something he really touched on, right? And it really touched me because when I was a kid, I remember I played all type of sports: football, basketball, baseball. I played a little bit of tennis, right? And I just remember like playing football and shout out to, all the support that I did get. But like, we listen to men who look strong. Like when you in that huddle, man, or you in that locker room, or you on the field with your team, we looking at the strongest guys, man. And if you don't look strong and you out of shape, like we don't look up to you, right? And I just remember vividly, like seeing two dads come. One was out of shape, one was in shape, and it's like you instantly respect the guy father who's in shape. It's like, because it's a little bit, as a kid, you get a little fear too. It's like a little intimidation because he's in shape, and you like, dang, you know what I mean? It's just a different look. And I feel him on that when he's saying, the male parents or whatever, like yelling from the bleachers, but they overweight and they not in shape. And then, I'm sure the kid appreciate them being there for the support. But we all know, man, it's almost like that situation where, you're in high school, right? And your family don't have the best car. And then some of your friends have good cars, and then you get picked up from school, and it's like you trying to duck and hide because you kind of embarrassed when your car pull up. They like, oh, that's such and such car, and it's like, dang, you try to cover. But when it's a fly car, you're like, oh yeah, that's my car right there, that's us, And it's kind of the same concept with your father, man. It's like, you may tell him, and we've seen these movies too. It's like, no, just pick me up or down the road, or hey, you ain't got, you on the phone with him, you ain't gotta pull all the way up to the school to pick me up because you may be embarrassed. But as a father, when you look good and your kids, like, dude, it's always been the case where, and you give as females, but just from the male perspective, man, the male viewpoint, it's like for somebody daddy to be in shape as a kid, it's like you look at their dad like a superhero. You really do. You look at their dad like they're a superhero or something, man. And then you look at somebody else dad who fat, like you just instantly like they not that they even disrespect you disrespect them, but they damn near invisible. You don't even, if you do lock in on you, like, God dang, they fat, right? Or most of the time you probably just don't even see them. But let somebody dad who come and they're in shape, they instantly stand out. So the part I really want to touch on, man, again, he talk about setting them standards. It's like, hey, you want your kids to eat healthy, then you need to eat healthy. You want your kids to be disciplined, then you need to show them how to be disciplined by you being disciplined yourself, right? You want them to achieve more, you have to achieve more, and so on and so forth. It's just so pivotal. And this is why, man, like, I didn't want to just have kids, man, just to have kids. I just didn't. I wanted to find the right woman, to find the right wife, and I bring the value I needed to bring as well to the relationship, to the marriage. That way, I set the foundation on how I'm leading my family, and also ultimately how I'm leading my kids as well as my wife. Man, it's just so pivotal that. But you have to lead yourself, man. He said it. He just said it beautifully. He just said it beautifully. So, I mean, listen, man. It's almost like bro speaking a different language. And I didn't even, like I said, when I was fat and out of shape, if I was to hear this message, I wouldn't even know it. I wouldn't even believe it. I wouldn't even believe it. But the leaner and leaner I get, it just like a song that's singing in my head, because I honestly understand it now. Even more so. Like, I knew it, but I didn't understand it, which is a big difference. But you have to set them standards for your life first, which I constantly preach to the men out there. And then everything else comes after that, because you set the tone, you set the standard. So it's just pivotal. It's just very pivotal. And again, I think this content creator was like right on the money. But yeah, man, when you have kids, like, again, I just can't wait till I do have kids. I just can't wait, man. And, you know, to be able to, for them to show up in the world and I'm at my best version, I'm at my best self, right? And I can just totally pour so much into them, because I'm flowing with abundance, because I've disciplined myself. I've raised my standards on just how my lifestyle is. So they getting the best of the world I can provide them. Not just a world where we're surviving and it's like you're taking scrap. You're giving your kids a scrap. You're barely holding on. And you just, at that point, because you're barely holding on, the world basically takes over and raises your kids. And we see this a lot now with kids that's going to school, right? Now, I'm not going to put that in there. My wife's a therapist, but I'm not, I ain't going to put that in there. But just know I know a lot about what's going on with these kids, man. And a lot of it really just stemmed from the parents. A lot of it still stemmed from the parents. And, it's on us to be the leaders in our family, man. It is. It's on us to set the standards. And I'm not saying every situation is perfect, right? We all make mistakes early in life. We try to recover. But listen, I'm a firm believer that nothing is finite. I believe everything is infinite, right? I believe if there's, again, I'm a numbers guy, so I believe that there's an equation for this problem that comes with a solution. And for me, I had a problem, you know what I mean? And I've created the solution, but it takes hard work. The same thing like figuring out any math problem. You got to know the rules of it. And sometimes it's a hard math problem to figure out, but it's something you can figure out. It's math. It always has an answer. It always has a solution. And it's the same thing with your life. If you're not hearing this guy and understanding what he's saying and it's going over your head, you got a lot of work to do. If you have kids right now, this is the type of people you need to be listening to right here. This type of message you need to be hearing, like, man, I need to, and we know it, like, your kid's going to love you, but again, as man, we have this innate sense of, like, awareness, man, that is something not adding up, right? Something's not connecting, right? Something's not penetrating to other relationships. So it's like something's missing. There's a disconnect. And us as man, we have that, again, innate instinct to have that awareness. So it's like, man, that's when we have to reflect and say, am I setting the standard where it starts to resonate to others that's in my circle, right? My kids, my grandkids, whoever. But in particular, like I said, this video he's talking about when you have your kids. I mean, but I guess kids could be grandkids too, whatever. So, but anyway, like I said, I think he hit it right on the money. I appreciate him sharing his viewpoint on it. I 100% agree. Like I said, I can't wait for my own kids to be able to, use this information. But again, I'm already using it on myself. So with that being said, I hope y'all got a lot of value from the video. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. If you're first time or you've been watching for a while, go and subscribe. And if anybody need to hear this message, share it out. With that being said, I appreciate y'all checking in. Until next time, peace.